I don't know about you, but I'm super, super pumped that we're starting the letter to St. Paul to the Romans, because I just love me some St. Paul to the Romans. It's a good letter. Yesterday we heard the introduction of St. Paul in his great, wonderful introductions that he always gives in all of his letters. Today, though, after the introduction, we hear his thesis statement. His thesis statement is to live by faith, how much faith is integral into our lives. There's some nuances to this reading. I don't know if you've caught them or didn't. You see, St. Paul was talking to Jewish Christians in Rome. And so the first thing, he wants these people to be his friends. So the hot topic of the time was, should Gentiles be part of the Christian religion? Obviously, he dealt with that many, many times over and over and over again. So him being a Jew, so he's going to talk up the Jewish Christians at first. And so if you heard him say, Jew first and then Greek. So he's saying, the Jews are the ones that received it first. The Jews are the ones that came before him. And then the second, he started talking about how all the pagans, all the Gentiles, they traded in the Creator for creation. They worshipped the creation instead of the Creator. So he's talking about all these different pagan religions, especially in Rome at this time, different birds that they worshiped, different animals and things like that. I love it so much because he's really setting them up, you see. In a couple chapters, actually in a couple verses here, he's going to say, and you did the same thing that they did. In Egypt, in Moses, during Moses' time, you traded in the Creator for creation. You did the exact same thing that they did. We're all in the same boat together, in a sense. And so with this gospel theme, how do we cut things out of our lives that need to be cut out of our lives? How do we not trade in the Creator for creation? I know in my own life, I had my initial conversion experience during my confirmation retreat. And I love this story. It's a great story. After I went home, I was on a spiritual high. You get on that spiritual high after confirmation retreat, you're feeling all good and wonderful about this stuff. And I said, you know what? I'm going to cut everything unholy out of my life. One of the things I love to do is watch television. At least back then, I don't really have time to watch too much television anymore. And the first thing I did, I'm very electronically abilitated, so I took the remote and I programmed the television to where it would only show EWTN and SportsCenter. That's the only channels I would allow myself to see, ESPN. Because, man cannot live without sports, okay? And sports are not bad things, they're good things, okay? So that's what I did. And then slowly, I saw how foolish that was, and I incorporated the rest of the channels back into my daily living, so to speak. But my desire was not off. This weekend Father Andre talked about God's desire for us, and our desire to be holy. The desire to cut things out of our lives that aren't good for us is a good desire, is a good thing. And if we live in just those things, those worldly things, we do trade in the Creator for creation. We do trade in something less for something valuable. That's what we need to understand. That's why this gospel today, this passage from Luke, tells us about that, about uniting our desire to our action. That they go one and one, they're together, the inside and the outside. What we desire, what we think, what we do should be united with what we actually do. Remember the homily about act and potency. It's not just one thing, just enough to desire it. We have to actually go out and live it today. So today, let us ask for the grace to be able to live what we desire and to be able to know that that is better than the worldly things, that the Creator is better and good than just the things that we trade Him in for.